What's up guys? On today's video we're going to be working on the Beast. Now I've needed to do this for a while. And what we're doing today is pads, discs and also the calipers. So all I've done so far is I've jacked it up. Now this, as you can probably tell, is not really the safest way to go about this. You know, I would say always use axle stands. However, in my case, because it's a truck, I don't have any big enough. My normal 3-ton axle stands aren't big enough basically to get underneath this truck and lift it up. So I'm just going to do it this way. Just have to remember not to get under the car pretty much for any point. There's one point I'm going to stick my head under slightly, but that's only to find where the bolts are that mount the caliper. That's it. And then I'm going to keep myself out, just in case, because you can never trust one of these trolley jacks. So the first thing to do is remove this cover. Now that that's off, whip off the wheel. Now because this is a big vehicle, these are 22mm nuts. And off comes the wheel. Now, if you look at the caliper, you can basically see why I'm changing that as well. It's basically goosed. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there is hardly any friction material. Oh, actually, to be fair, there's quite a lot of friction material on these pads. On the one on the other side, yeah, they'd all gone. The other caliper was pretty much seized. I think this one is seized, so that's why it's getting changed. However, the first thing to do is remove this bolt and this bolt. Well, not remove, just loosen. Because I know these are going to be tight. And I need to use the pry bar for another job. So once I've cracked them off, I'll then show you how to stop this from leaking. That's one. And that's two. Now I have just cracked them at the minute. They're still on there. So now, before we start removing anything, I am going to take a few more bolts out. One of the things we need to do is we've got to remove this cover. There we go. And we've also got to remove this circlip. And behind the circlip, if you can see just there, there's a little shim. So we need to remove them too. Remove these 6 bolts, and then we can just slide all this off. So hopefully you can see this now. And you can also see that I've donned a pair of work gloves. It's not like me, I know. But I am in work in a few hours. And the last time I done this, it took me days to get all the shite out my hands. And I do need to look reasonably respectable for work. There we go. So as you can see, taking that off is a bit of a pain. But with a bit of patience you can do it. And that's the shim that's behind it. Be careful not to lose them. So now, next thing is to remove this ring of bolts. Now I think these are, what's this one? No. Oh, third time lucky. Yeah, there we go. These are 14s. Now, on each of these there's a little split washer. Don't lose these, because you will need them to go back on again. So once you've removed them, you can then remove this cover. As is always the problem with older vehicles, by looking at the heads on them screws, people have clearly been in here playing before me, and they look like they're in a bit of a bad way. But let's see if we can get them off anyway. That's actually not too bad. To be honest, they were a lot tighter on the other side. Now it'll probably help if you remember where about these screws are, because, oh dear, oh there we go. Because on the back side of this, there we go, is this ring we've got to remove. Now them screws only thread in into 2 holes. Now in order to remove this, you basically have to unwind it. And the way we're going to do that is with a screwdriver. Now, it's not the best way to, oh, actually, this one isn't that tight at all. Yeah, it tightens up there. Okay, so now we know. No, it's getting a bit tighter now. So now we know if you tighten it down and then back it off slightly so that the screws are in the position that we were when we took it off, that will then be the correct tightness. Because this, as you'll see in a second, basically holds the bearing in place. And that bearing is a roller bearing. There we go. So that just basically holds a roller bearing in place. This is going to spray down this pipe with some penetrating fluid, and then I'm going to take it inside and I'm going to show you how to stop all the brake fluid from leaking out. Right, so before we go inside, what you've got to do is just crack off this. Now I've just been playing with it to free it up, because we do need this piece again. So you do want to remove this completely. And on this car, This is an 11mm nut. Now this is the brake bleeder. Not the brake bleeder, sorry. The main brake line to the caliper. So now that's cracked off. You need to take a decent sized bar. Hopefully you'll get an idea of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to move the seat forward. I'm going to depress the brake pedal all the way down. And then I'm going to wedge it with the seat. So now that'll stop any brake fluid leaking through the master cylinder. So here we go. That'll now stop leaking and nothing else will come out of it. So the next thing we've got to do, there's a couple of bolts. There's one here and there's one here that both need to be removed. So now we've removed them. We can move the line right out of the way. So also on the back of these bolts is another big split washer. Now I do have new bolts and washers for this, but nevertheless I'm going to keep them anyway, just in case. And off comes the caliper. Now this disc should just pull straight off now. Now there is in here the bearing, like I was saying earlier. This is a roller bearing and we are going to repack this with a bit of grease. And there we have the disc and the hub assembly. Now we're not quite done yet. One or two things I'm going to do. I'm going to completely remove all this heat shield because it's completely trashed, as you can see. And you don't really need it on there anyway. Just look at the state of that. So what we've got to do now is remove the disc and the ABS ring away from the hub. So I'm going to remove the ABS ring first, and it's just 4 bolts, one there, one there, one there and one there. Now I'm not using an impact socket for this, I'm just using a normal one. On the other side these weren't that tight, but I can't get an impact socket in there, they're just too big. There we go, there's one. Let's move them all and then I'll sort out the washers. And that gives you the ABS ring, and a couple of washers have just fell off. We do need to keep hold of them. There we go. One or two 4 sockets for the ABS ring. So now there is 6 bolts that hold a disc onto the hub. Yeah, so these bolts go right through from the outside. So as you can see, what I was saying earlier, it's a bit of a pain. But maybe that's because it is like a commercial vehicle designed to carry a lot of weight. So now to remove these, there is 2 14mm sockets, or 2 14mm. It's a 14mm nut and a 14mm bolt. So all I'm going to do now is using the chisel, I'm just going to hammer at the back the wheel studs, and then you'll see it'll start. So as you can see, a very small gap's opened up there. We just need to keep doing this all the way around. What you can do to sort of speed the process up a bit, spray a bit of WD-40 in there. Should open it off, it slides off a little bit easier. Ow. And try not to hit your thumb. There we go. Hub removed from disc. Now that we've got it all apart, it's now time to rebuild this puppy. Pretty straightforward. You just have to remember the order which you took everything off. Now, I did get new bolts for these. However, I don't like them as much as the original ones. They're not actually in that bad of a condition, so I'm just going to use these again. So all you're going to do is go around, put all the nuts back through. Remember to put the washers on the back. I'm not going to show you through all that because it's just tedious and time consuming, and a video will be about a week long. I've already been at this now for about an hour and a half, so need to get it done. And filming takes up so much time. So I'll get back to you in a minute once I've done this. So now we've got the disc tightened onto the hub. Next thing is the ABS ring. What I've done is I've just threaded the screws in, a couple of threads, so I know they started. Now these don't need to be on mega tight, but they do have to be on tightish. One thing I want to do now is make sure that there's no bits of crud inside there, because that's where the bearing goes, and if there's any crud at all, then you'll just destroy the bearing, and that's going to have to be replaced. Which at the minute the bearing's good, so I don't really want to have to do that. That there at the back is just a seal. Just wiped all the crud off it, so now there's nothing on the bearing. There's hardly anything around the seal, but that doesn't matter anyway. So the next thing I want to make sure is that there's nothing on the spindle. So hopefully you can see, all I've got is a bit of brake clean. And on there, because there was a few flecks of rust. So now I've got the shaft clean, the bore of the bearings clean. I'm now going to put on some grease. Now this probably isn't the correct grease. This is multi-purpose grease. However, it's all I've got at the minute. So now I'm just going to very carefully so now I've got that on there. Next thing, there we go. It's on there properly now. So now that's on there. Next thing to put on is the other bearing. Now again, just make sure there's no bits in it. Nothing that's going to cause it to fail prematurely. And then grease it up again. Now by putting more grease on, you basically helping it out. You're basically just re-greasing the bearing, which is a good thing to do. No, it's basically a bit of preventative maintenance. We can now reattach the ring which holds the bearing in place. There we go. So if you remember, the last time we put it on, the two screws were basically running parallel with the ground. So just want to tap it back slightly. So it's just like that. Refit the locking ring. And then lastly, apply the two screws. Now, don't need to tighten these down. Just snug them up till they bottom out. So now you've got them on. You can now refit this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of grease around this shaft. You know, like we said before, basically the more grease the better. Once you've got the third started, you can use that with the impact. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Now whenever you're doing the ringer bolts like this, it's always best practice to do them in a crisscross pattern. Something a bit like this. So that's it, that's them ones tightened up. So now we've got the shim to go on this outside. If I can get it on there with the gloves on. And then, last but not least, the C-clip. There we go. So now I'm just going to make sure it is definitely pushed into the groove. Which it is. And then lastly, just knock the cover back into place. So now essentially that's the disc on. Now we do have one more thing to do to this, and that is the cleaner. Just spray down plenty of brake clean. Get a nice clean rag and wipe it all back. Now the reason you've got to clean them is because it does have a rust inhibitor from the factory, which is a grease. And as everyone knows, you do not want grease of any description affecting your brakes. That and the fact that we've had our hands all over them. And there we go, that should do it. So now what we've got left to do, reinstall a caliper, install the pads, bleeder, good to go. So now we're going to reinstall the caliper bracket. For this I've got new bolts, and these bolts have also got quite large billet washers on them. Now don't forget to put these on. If you do, then your wheels will essentially lock up. You won't be able to go anywhere, and you can also run the risk of destroying the ABS ring. Ask me how I know. So, even though I have tightened these down with the impact, I am definitely going to go back, check, and make sure that they are tight enough. And I've actually got a spanner here, so I can do that. Because these do need to be pretty tight. Oh, there we go, yeah, there. So now I've got the bracket on. can now install a caliper. However, what I'm going to do is I've got some more grease, because there isn't really much on these at all. And in fact, what I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm also going to install the pads and all the pad hardware, because I did buy new of them. See, that's the new hardware for the pads. New pads, new shims. Now, this copper grease is a real pain. It gets absolutely everywhere. But I'm just going to apply it first to the back of the shim. And then I'm going to carefully press this into the caliper bracket, making sure that I don't get any of this on the caliper, which onto the disc, which I have done. It's no big deal. The tiniest amount. Which with, oh Jesus, a little bit of brake fluid will be removed. So now do the same thing on the top one. Apply it to the underside first. This should just help prevent corrosion. Not that these should corrode anyway, because it's stainless, I think. So now we can put the pads in. This has got a wear indicator on it, and these usually go to the back at the top. So I'm just going to carefully apply some of this grease. Just where the pad runs in them grooves. There we go. So then once we've got that pad in, we're then basically just going to base the back of it up with more anti-seize. And then I'm going to put the shim on. And then repeat again. You just have to be careful not to get any of the copper grease on the disc or the actual pad friction surface. Then again on the other side. What am I playing at? Make sure you put it in the right way around. we go. Again, copper grease on the back. Then the shim. Then a bit more anti-seize on the back of the shim. Now that's it for copper grease. Next thing we're going to do is remove this pin, because this needs a bit more grease on. Now on these pins, always use silicone grease. You know, other types of grease will eat away at the rubber, let moisture in, and then you'll need to do quite a bit of repair on the caliper if it seizes shut or seizes closed even. So I'll just lube that up with quite a generous amount. Now that moves nice and free, and then just do the same thing on this other one. And then you can put the caliper back together. And then just tighten down the two bolts. Don't need to be mega tight, but they do need to be tight enough so that it doesn't fall off. And there we go, caliper on. Now the last thing to do is to reattach the brake line and then bleed it. Now I did have a bit of issue last time. With getting these two bolts lined up. Looks like it could be the same today. Let's use this one. Now after all, these don't need to be tight. There we go. You know what, this chair is really uncomfortable. So what I'm going to do now is crack off the bleeder. I think it might be a 10 now. Yeah. Crack the bleeder open. Now I'm going to remove the bar that we put the brake pedal down with, and I'm going to remove the cap off the top of the master cylinder. I'm just going to let this sitting out until you start getting a little bit of fluid coming out of the bleeder. It's like a gravity bleed basically. There we go. Oh, wrong one. Oh no. There we go. So now essentially that caliper is full of fluid. However, there will be air in there as well. So what we need to do now, pump the brake a few times and attach a hose onto there just to bleed it. Now the problem I've got is these tubes which are used to bleed it the other day. Oh, actually that went on there rather well. So now I'm going to pump the brake off, come back, crack it open, close it again, pump the brake up again, and just keep doing that until when I crack it open, just fluid comes out and no air bubbles. So now that pedal is rock hard. When I crack this open, if you look, you'll see air comes out as well as fluid. Alright. To be fair, oh yeah, see all that air come out. One little tiny bubble, nothing else. I consider that good enough for me. And that is basically how you bleed it. Let's make sure that's tight. Yeah. And that is how you change pads, caliper and a disc on a Mitsubishi L200 Warrior. If you did, then please like, share and subscribe. You know, the more subscribers I get, the better. You know, I'm really looking at growing this channel now. I know I haven't really been putting many videos up lately, because I've had this car now for about 3 months. I've done a couple of things, but unfortunately I couldn't film them because they were dire things that needed doing for work. Didn't have the time to do it because I was doing it in the morning before going to work, all that sort of rubbish. You can see one through there, it's a brand new starter motor, and the other one was a brand new radiator. So like I said, unfortunately I couldn't film them, but I've got many plans for this, as I said in a previous video. So like I said, if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. See you later, bye.